The Chicago Bears, they are getting what every NFL team wants. We have a situation coming, right? And the Chicago Bears, they're preparing the way for Caleb Williams. I think it's inevitable at this point. And moving forward, we're going to continue to talk about positives and negatives with him. We also need to be fair about character concerns, right? Real or perceived. I'm also going to address in this video two potential on the field performance issues, more on that. But I just saw a stat that kind of surprised me. I wanted to share it with you. I mean, there is not anything that could be more encouraging here in my book. It's a bit under the radar, though, and it needs to be taken into account. And I'm going to go to the story that inspired this on bleachernation.com. You guys, I always want to give credit. This is a fantastic story. So the stat I'm talking about with Caleb Williams is his third down performance. Spoiler alert, it's fantastic. I mean, elite third down performance is what every single team wants. And frankly, that's something Caleb Williams, he's potentially giving it to us here. It's an it factor we've actually never had, right? How many times have we been sitting at third down in the last few years and come up short? Too many that I'd care to count. And say what you will about him, but this is a nice indicator that Caleb, he might be that dude. Everyone talks about his highlights, and there are a ton every single week on ESPN. We all saw the fun and impressive plays that he pulled off consistently. 72 touchdowns thrown in 2 years. Yes, please, right? But this is what sticks out to me and something the Bears should be hugely encouraged by on third down. That's football's money down, right? Caleb Williams put up a 16-0 touchdown to interception ratio. 16-0. That's ridiculous, right? As is 46-1. That's his touchdown to interception ratio in the end zone. That's over that same time span. So we've got a 16-0 touchdown to interception ratio and a 46-1 touchdown to interception ratio in the red zone to go with that. I hate to do this. I'm going to pull this story down. I really hate to do this, but let's compare that to the performance of Justin Fields. I love him. Let's make that clear. And I was sad to see him go, but we got to be fair here. We very well might be looking at a huge improvement here in the long run. This quarterback change, it could be the best thing we could have ever done. I have my reservations, but we've got to have an open mind here. So let's look at what Justin Fields did. He put up a 73.8 passer rating, 58% completion percentage, a 16-16 touchdown to interception ratio on third down. I mean, that's just awful. Last year, Fields, he posted a 83.7 passer rating. That's an improvement. 59.3% completion rate. That's better. But still an 8-5 touchdown to interception ratio. In his best season in 2022, his third down passer rating was 88 with a 61.9% completion rate, a 7-5 touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, looking at that, that's just really hard to stomach. It's not in a vacuum, and I don't want to get on him and reverse my course and thinking that Justin Fields would have been great on this team this year. But that's just not good. It's not a stat to be taken in a vacuum, though. A lot of things influence it, right? Let's go through it. For a team to be consistently good on third downs, it's influenced by a combination of various factors, right? Coaching, play calling, clutch performance by the quarterback. Many times it's called the it factor. But doing well on first and second downs, so you have a shorter distance, for example, not being forced to deal with 3rd and 8 consistently. I mean, many times first and second downs are used for other things. Trying to establish a running game, taking a shot with a long pass downfield to try and catch the defense sleeping, right? Sometimes trick and gadget plays. A lot of stuff is done on first and second down. Third downs are a different animal altogether. Because why? They need to be converted or else there's likely a punt. I mean, that's obvious. It's usually when a team will go to a tried and true play. They'll usually rely on their best receiver or back to convert it. The talent outside of quarterback is vitally important on third down as well. As far as the stats go, I would read a quarterback or even a whole team who's good at converting third downs as one that is great at doing everything correctly, right? If a team is good on third down, they're good in these areas: play calling, blocking up front. And to be clear, I realized that Fields was playing in the pros while Williams was in college during this time. And I understand that the offensive talent around Fields wasn't ideal, right? It's a moot point that it was lacking. Plus, I fully comprehend that the offensive play calling didn't do Fields any favors. With that being said, though, the results, they were still underwhelming on third down passes. This isn't to say Fields can't perform better in those third down situations. I think he definitely can. I'm a gambling man. I'd like to bet on him improving on those career marks. He's going to get an extended opportunity in Pittsburgh to do so. But I can also see the stats being used as a reason that the Bears decided to move on from him, regardless if we've upgraded our talent, regardless of all these other things. That third down touchdown to interception ratio may have been a huge deciding factor. It's really too bad, right? But I think we have the coaching staff right here. The play calling, it'll be much improved. No more of the run, pass mentality that drove us all absolutely nuts. Excuse me. I mean, that was terrible. We also have an improved supporting cast. We've got DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, hopefully a blue chip receiver in the draft to add to the mix, right? Plus, let's not forget what I think might be the most single important add once we're into the season. A versatile home run threat who can really be a receiving threat in his own right. DeAndre Smith, right? If healthy, he might be the best back that we've had here in a really long time. I'll address what many detractors like to point at as well, his fumbles. But on an off year last year, he only had 3 last year. Does that mean he's improved? A 68.6 completion percentage. That's great. 3,633 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, only 3 fumbles lost, 5 picks. I mean, can we live with this? The knock on him, in my opinion, though, the sacks. Not the fumbles, it was the sacks. He was sacked 35 times and he holds the ball a ton. I take that super seriously. I don't want to gloss over it. There is some stuff about him that rubs people the wrong way, myself included. But from what Bruce Feldman from The Athletic reported, hearing it directly from staffers at the NFL Combine and beyond, not a single guy classified it as alarming or even troubling. The biggest knock on him, coming from intel straight from a coaching source, as reported by The Athletic in that story once again. This is a quote. We tried to force his hand. The second time we played him, we still brought pressure, but we did it from different looks. We wanted to test how good his post-snap movement was, and he wasn't as good as some others. I think he's an elite. I think he's an elite athlete in terms of making plays with his feet and staying active on the run, like Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he has the arm like Mahomes, though. If you're talking about elite arm talent in this class, that would be Michael Penix. I fully agree with that. If Caleb can get better at getting rid of the ball quicker, at standing in the pocket and getting it out and getting better at diagnosing post-snap movement, I think that'd be a really good pick. In response to that, I think this is a really good match. Shane Waldron, he specializes in shortening the time his quarterbacks take releasing the ball. That's a huge emphasis for him. He did it with Russell Wilson, especially with Geno Smith. That was one of the huge areas that he improved with Smith, and it was one of the reasons he ended up going to the Pro Bowl. The difference with Smith was dramatic under his teaching. It's an emphasis of his. He has a proven track record improving it. It may have been a huge factor in hiring him. So maybe this big knock on Caleb Williams being the sacks, being holding on to the ball too long, not the fumbles. I think he's improved in that regard. Maybe our coaching staff is set up perfectly to handle this. Maybe this was one of the reasons that Shane Waldron was brought in to alleviate this issue. Maybe we're going to be completely fine. And maybe, just maybe, Caleb Williams is actually the guy that we're bringing in to improve this offense, and a big indicator of an improved offense and a big indicator of a team that we're not going to be so frustrated with as a fan base. That third down improvement, that third down performance, that actually might be elite with Caleb Williams. So you guys leave comments. We always have a good conversation. I don't want to be fully Pollyanna on the Caleb Williams acquisition. I know that there are issues with him, but maybe it's time that we look past these issues, not talk ourselves out of drafting the number 1 prospect in the draft, and Maybe we'll end up with actually having something nice for a change at quarterback. You guys, appreciate you guys. Go Bears, bear down. Let's enjoy this offseason. We're almost to the draft. See ya.